Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. So, as I was recording for the video about, the Stone Cold being on the cover, I was thinking, yeah, I should do a video as well about the rumors of Stone Cold returning because as soon as the vignette happened, people were thinking, you know what, this might be another hint that Stone Cold might be coming back soon. And a lot of people were saying that, the match that should have happened a few years ago was Austin versus Punk. And it would have been a great match as well. I thought. I think, you know, but at the same time, I don't think it would have been a 5-star classic. I think it would have been a great match. It would have been, a good stare down. The promos would have been awesome. I know that Punk is a great, um, you know, he's a great promo. I do think that he's great on the mic, but in the ring, I not so much. I don't think that he's a 5-star athlete, but I do think that he is great in the ring. He knows how to tell a story. But I don't know. I'm not such a big fan of his in-ring style. But yeah, that's neither here or there. I'm still a big fan of Punk. But anyways, let's talk about Stone Cold, okay? Now on his podcast with Paul Heyman, he did say that yeah, if I'm gonna come back and face Brock Lesnar, I am going to face him at WrestleMania 32 in a Texas Death Match. Um, it was sort of a hint. It wasn't anything like, yep, that's gonna happen. And it wasn't even booked. And apparently, even though that I think it's a work, Vince McMahon was saying, "Oh shit, that shouldn't have happened," or Triple H was seething, or something like that. I don't know. I don't care. Um, but here's my opinion on it. Okay, I don't think it should be against Brock Lesnar. Now, with the way that they're building it up, with Lesnar, because especially with Lesnar being a babyface, you can't turn him heel just yet. So if Austin comes back, that means he's the heel, which doesn't work either because you're bringing him back to draw a crowd. So I think he's going to draw a crowd regardless of which side he's on, whether he's babyface or heel. But at the same time, you're talking about ticket sales. You're talking about you're talking about buy rates. You're talking about fans who are going to watch the show. They don't want to watch Austin running away. They don't want him to come back as a heel and just be running away from a fight. They'd be booing the shit out of it. But if he comes back as a babyface, kicking ass, doing whatever it takes to win, and being the old veteran that tries to get back one more run, it's a great story. Now a lot of people say, "Oh, he's old," he's old, he's 50. So what? So what? This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Didn't Flair win his 16th world title when he was like 51? It doesn't make any sense for me, because the thing is, pro wrestling is the only sport where a guy can come back in his 60s and still kick ass. Look at Jushin Thunder Liger. He's in his 50s. Look at Yuji Nagata. Those guys, and you're going to say, "Oh no, those guys are Japanese." Well, so what about The Undertaker? He had his better matches, his best matches in his later years. Sting, he got his best run. You know, his best runs were, in my opinion, were in TNA. It's not in WCW, because in WCW he had just one run. It was a great run in '97, but that was it. Then he was back down. He was in the main event, but he was a jobber. He was losing a lot. But in TNA, he felt like a legend. He really felt like he was in there busting his ass. Even at age 50, his match with, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, all those matches that happened in Bound for Glory, he was kicking ass. It just goes to show that it doesn't, when you're older in the wrestling business, doesn't mean that you're losing it. If anything, you're gaining a lot. Look at Jericho. Jericho had his best year not in WCW, not in ECW, Not in the early 90s, not with Lance Storm as the Heat Seekers, not even the early 2000s. His best year was 2008, 2009. And how old was he? You know, I think he was like 39 or 40, you know? And he's still kicking ass. He's still kicking ass. He had a great you know, bunch of matches with Dolph Ziggler. He had awesome chemistry with with CM Punk. You know, he brought out the best out of CM Punk. So when you're older, doesn't mean that, you know, you don't deserve to be on the spotlight. If anything, I think it's a great story. You know, the old dog coming back. You know, look at all those movies, like, you know, the Clint Eastwood movies, the John Wayne movies. You know, sure, they're not like 5-star movies, but they're great stories, and you're invested into it. You know, like John Rambo. You know, or like, you know, if you're a video game fan, Metal Gear Solid 4. You know, him coming back. You know, Solid Snake coming back for just like this one last run. Awesome, awesome storylines. I love these kind of storylines, and we're missing those because the wrestling fans are conditioned to say, "Yeah, he's old. He shouldn't be in the spotlight. He should give it to younger guys." What younger guy can really hold, you know, it can carry the WWE right now? There's nobody. Talking about Seth Rollins, talking about Roman Reigns, talking Dean Ambrose, they're not ready yet. Seth Rollins he's kicking ass in the ring, but what is he as a character? You don't know what he is. At one point he's like, you know, playing nice with Kane. Next moment he's just screaming at Kane. The next moment he's, you know, saying that he don't need the authority. And the next segment he's coming back to the authority and saying like, yeah, I didn't mean what I just said. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. You know, nobody in the roster right now, and I don't think that it's their fault. I think it's WWE's fault. Their creative management sucks. They can't create new stars because of that stupid team. Every time they're trying to bring somebody up, you know, and he has a lot of momentum, they're like, nope, we can't have that. You can't have him be better than everybody else. Look at Bray Wyatt. You know? And that's... And this is where I can segue into the original subject of this video. And that is Stone Cold. Who should he face next? Bray Wyatt. At WrestleMania 32, okay, Bray Wyatt is now 0-2 at WrestleMania, which sucks. I don't think he should have lost any of his matches. Now, you put him in the ring with Austin, and you're thinking that, oh yeah, Bray Wyatt is losing again. And Austin is kicking ass. Stunner on Bray, beating the shit out of Bray, beating him with a chair and stuff like that. How Bray get inside of the head of Austin? With the promos, I'm sure that he can sell this match like dynamite. I'm sure that Bray Wyatt can get the fans to talk and say, you know what? This probably is one of the best storylines I've seen Austin in. And you put that storyline in where Bray's like, you're an old dog. You can't do it anymore. You know? It's time to put you down. So you have that match go on, and I think it would be a great way for Bray, once he wins, Austin comes back in, shakes his hand, and sort of pass the torch. Because there was never a passing of the torch from Austin. You can say, yeah, when he gave, you know, in his Hall of Fame induction, where he gave the can of beer to Cena, which really felt like, you know, the passing of the torch, or when Rock lost to Cena. I don't think that. I don't think that at all. I think a true passing of the torch happens in a match. And when Austin comes back, has a great match with Bray, and then after the match, once Bray wins, Austin comes back up and says, you know, I gave you everything I had. I gave you, you know, like multiple stunners, hit you with everything I have, every single weapon that I can find. and you still got up, you know. And you can have like during the match where Bray is like laughing maniacally, and Austin just like, doesn't know what to do, and that's when Bray hits Sister Abigail and wins. After the match, Austin gives him the rub, and that's where you turn Bray Wyatt babyface. And then you would have this, you know, this different side of Bray, this resurgence of Bray that he strongly needs. I think it could work. It could work. Now, a lot of people are saying, there's another match that, Austin should be, he should, um, he should be having as his final match. Cena. Um, I think it's a good idea, and I do think that it could draw in a lot of people. I do think it's a big, big match. It's a big match. But I think Cena should be facing Undertaker. Have it be Undertaker saying that if I don't win at WrestleMania, it's going to be my last match. You know? And you can do that storyline every single WrestleMania where Undertaker is in. He'd be like, if I don't win this match, it's going to be my last match. Because since the streak was broken, I think that's the next best thing. Holy shit, if Undertaker retires, we don't get to see him at WrestleMania anymore. You know? I think it'd be a good idea. Have him face John Cena. I think that there's no chance in hell Undertaker wins. Next year, have it against Sting. Because Undertaker versus Cena, I think, would bring in more fans than Sting versus Undertaker. As for Sting, you can have Sting versus somebody else. It doesn't matter. I think he would have a better match with a younger guy, like a Dolph Ziggler or a Dean Ambrose. I think he would have a better match with those guys. Faster guys, fast-paced guys. That can work around him. Rather than, even though that I did like his match with Triple H, I think it was a great match. I do think that he needs a younger star to actually work around. That actually works around him. That's what I wanted to say. But yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think that, should happen. So, I think, Austin should be facing Bray Wyatt. I think that's the only choice for an opponent against Stone Cold. And I do think that Bray is the kind of guy that could, carry the brand on his back. I do think that he is capable of doing that. You just need to invest into him. WWE, that is. WWE needs to invest into Bray. That's it. They do that, then the fans would invest. But if WWE doesn't care, casual fans won't care. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say about that. So, yeah, leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. Who should face Austin, in your opinion? For the longest time, I was thinking Randy Orton. I do think Randy Orton should have faced Austin a long time ago. But I'd like to see Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. I think that would be a better match. So, yeah, leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your dream match, your dream match including Austin, that includes Austin, in the comments below. And I'll do my best to respond to every single one of you guys. So, thanks for listening, and take care, guys.